Electric Fire 2 Hidden Chains Chapter 26.
We got separated back there. It all just happened so fast. One man, Sog, was beside me, his hand on my shoulder. We both heard our door open from downstairs, and more agents came in. Then Sonic fell, and then I did. Something hit me in the back. It seemed the same happened to my friend. We both tried to get up, but I fell unconscious as the agent in front of us approached. I don't know what came of Sonic. I woke up alone, in a dark room. At least I thought it was a room. I didn't sense anything alive was near me at the time. There were some really small holes allowing light in, but I wasn't able to see anything from them other than a little bit of light. It was very dark. The one thing I feared was being alone. I could feel a blanket was underneath me. Nothing else, just a blanket. I couldn't move much, only crawl. I crept to a corner and curled up in it, looking ahead out what I believed to be a door to the room. This isn't your typical room though. It's kind of like a kennel, but a square more shaped room to move around. But no big holes round, just these small ones made by a thumbtack. Silence surrounded me for the longest time. I just stayed in that corner wondering where Sonic could be. I didn't like this feeling I had. I was well alerted though my legs felt numb. I could fight, so just wouldn't be able to escape very well. Then again, I could teleport, but I had to find Sonic first. I wanted to make sure he was okay first, before worrying about my own escape. I couldn't just leave him behind, wherever he is.
I couldn't hear anything. Darkness was all around me. It felt like I was in a wooden crate or something. It was small and I wasn't able to move much after waking up. I had no idea where it was. I sniffed the air a bit, but nothing smelled familiar. I didn't even catch shadow scent either, which sent shivers down my spine. I used to darkness. I spent most of my life in a cave anyway. There was something very unsettling about the darkness in this place. I'm not exactly afraid of the dark, though I used to keep a nightlight until living with Tom and Maddie, who decorated the walls to the attic in string lights. The very room they allowed me to stay in, I was alone. All alone once again. I hated being alone like this, not knowing what was to come of me. I wondered if Shadow was okay, wherever he was. My ears perked up a bit as I heard footsteps and a door opening. It squeaked as it opened. 2 pairs of footsteps was heard walking in. Some light peered in through the cracks of the wood. I could kind of see through a hole in the wood crate it was in. I couldn't exactly see who was approaching, but I was able to hear them.
You got what you wanted, and we got what we wanted, so we're even now.
Someone said. I believed it was one of the guys Shadow had been running from since we met. But then, the one who replied startled me to the core.
Excellent.
I knew the voice. I never would have thought he'd work with these guys. Robotnik was here. It seemed he came to collect. I had to find a way out here now, even with my legs feeling like spaghetti. I'd do anything in my power to get away from him and gun. The crate I was in was small, but I was able to curl up into a ball and use my body to try and break the side using my weight. The wood wouldn't give in. I only caused a bit of commotion. The 2 ran over and lifted me up. I could feel the crate being raised, knocking me back against a wall of it. I stayed in a ball though. It seemed ramming my way out wasn't going to work. I wondered what Shadow would do in this situation. But then the crate was set down back on the table or something. I assumed I had been placed on a table.
Guess I should collect him now before he causes any more trouble.
Then I was picked up again, crate and all. I rolled a bit as the crate shook as I was being carried. The agent said nothing. I knew I would be heading to Robotnik's lab where I'd most likely meet my end, unless I could figure a way out and get back into where I came from and find Shadow and help him escape. But the crate I was in was very sturdy. None of the boards felt weak, even after me trying to use my body to break through. Let me out of here. I called out only to be met with silence. This wasn't exactly worse than the gimbag Tom had me in, but I still hated this. I couldn't give up yet. I decided to try and use my powers, but nothing happened. I guess I was still a bit weak from whatever I was hit with. Only small sparks of lightning appears, not enough to do any damage anyway. It would take some time before I'd be able to use my powers, and time was what I didn't have. I heard a car door open. I was then set down. The doors closed. I couldn't do anything. I did my best to try and get out. It hurt more knowing my only Hedgehog friend was back there. I had the feeling that I may not see him again as the car started to leave. I was leaving a lot behind. I thought I'd go my separate way with Robot Nick away from where Gum was.
After hearing what the man said to whoever was in the crate, I knew I had to spring into action. We should help him. I mean, there's someone stuck inside that wooden box. I told my friend. She agreed as we both watched the truck leave the parking lot. We both hurried to the side of the road, staying behind the bushes so we wouldn't be seen. This truck wasn't like other trucks, so passing it wasn't going to be easy. But getting on the back of the truck would be easier than trying to take out the tires. Amy used her hammer to get me a boost so I could grab onto the door of the truck as it was about to pass us. I didn't realize it was unlocked. When I grabbed hold of it, it swung open so quickly I almost let go. A bunch of stuff fell out, including the crate. It broke as it landed on the road. Cars were coming toward it. Amy was on it and dashed across the road and picked up a loose spiky ball out of the crate just as the car was about to hit it. Amy was quick though. She was able to get to the side or she could get hit too. I let go as the door closed when the truck hit a bump. I fell back onto the side into the bushes. Luckily I wasn't pushed into the road. Once the road was clear, Amy headed back across the road carrying the spiky ball. She ran toward where I landed. I was fine, just some twigs and a few scrapes, but nothing major. She set the ball down and ran to me.
You alright there, Knuckles?
Yeah, I'm fine, I replied before going to the ball of spikes and grabbed a small stick and poked it. It uncurled a bit. I could see emerald green eyes peering back at me. He seemed frightened, but he didn't seem to be hurt. You're free now. Amy and I rescued you, I explained to him. He then uncurled from the ball and stumbled a bit. He almost fell, but I caught him. Amy then walked over and inspected him a bit.
Where'd you come from? Who are you?
The hedgehog only looked behind him before pointing towards where the building was.
I have a friend back there. He may need help. My name is Sonic.
Oh no, I don't like that place. There are noises coming from there. Also, the people around here give me the creeps.
I agreed with her, but I didn't like the thought of this hedgehog going in there alone. He also didn't seem to be in a good condition. I sensed something was wrong. He also wasn't able to stand at the moment.
I still have to help him. Those guys have been after him for quite some time now. Who knows what they're doing to him or going to do to him?
Amy looked back at the building as Sonic spoke. She still didn't like it. But then she let out a sigh. Amy, I think we should help him. It wouldn't be wise to let him go off alone in that place. Besides, if he goes in there, he might not make it out. Also, it wouldn't be safe staying right here. That truck could come back looking for him.
Fine, we'll help.
Amy shrugged. She didn't like the idea, but she agreed to it. She looked back at Sonic. I still held on to him since he almost fell when he stood up after uncurling.
You can't let go now. My legs are fine now.
We made our move to the building after the introduction. Sonic didn't seem to have any idea on where his friend would be located. He explained that they were separated after they were found by these guys, and his only memory was waking up in that crate alone. The three of us snuck into the building quietly. The garage part was left open. No one was in sight as we made our way into the building.
I could hear whispers coming from somewhere. Someone said,
The blue hedgehog has been shipped out. Truck left not long ago.
Those were the words I could make out. More was said, but it was muffled and hard to hear. It seemed Sonic had left in a truck. I knew it was most likely Robotnik's. Who else would they send him to? I guess I was left here alone now. Nothing here was worth fighting for now without Sonic here. If Robotnik. Huh. I guess Sonic nodded to me there. He liked to call him Eggman. I guess he roughed off on me. If he has him, then there isn't a point in just me escaping this place. He was probably unconscious when Robotnik came for him. He could probably be on a table as laugh by now. Sonic told me he wanted his power and also to cut him open. If so, I wouldn't see him ever again. I wanted to protect him, but it seemed the agent was right. If he tried to defend me, he'd be destroyed too. Here I was though, waiting for my turns. Footsteps walked past where I was. Only silence surrounded me, yet again. I was alone with my thoughts. I wondered on what would happen if Sonic awoke before arriving. I pictured him waking up in a glass tank, Stone, Robotnik, and the robotic coffee of us standing in front of him. Some poison gas fills the room he was in, the gas staying on Sonic's end. I shook myself out of the scene. It was too frightening for me. I didn't want to think of Sonic like that, alone and dying by Robotnik's hands. I crawled up a bit, my forehead leaned against my knees. Tears streamed a bit as I remembered how I met Sonic and everything we did together. I already lost him once, but I felt like I lost him for real this time. I was too caught up in my mind that I didn't hear anything. Then I felt light on me. The door to my room was open. I looked back, not caring that I still had tears streaming down my cheeks.